One thing I kept coming from Parafield Gardens at Glenalga was this use of annotations and walls where students could be able to see how a merit research project is working and what the criteria are and how they can manage to succeed at their best. I used some old examples, but mainly I used the example of a merit folio, which was the first merit folio ever at Parafield Gardens, and I was lucky to say that I helped in making this. So when I came to from Parafield Gardens to Glenalga, my role description was that I had to increase the results on the research project. I made a new model which was very loud and had a lot of explanation and a lot of information, much more, with examples, many examples on how to give a merit folio and a lot of online learning tools. Very up to date and a lot of explanation how students can really refer to all the assessment criteria. Discussing the criteria was amazing and most important part that the students really got through it, because they need to know how they will be assessed. If the theory and based my projects is based on mindset of learning and student-centered learning, research project is this. And really, people want to learn, they have the ability, they have the learning objects and the intention to learn, but they need to know if they assess according to the criteria, and they need to know the criteria. Also, they need to be praised for meaningful to them work. Therefore, I tried to make, let's say, small videos that they can explain to them how to make things and how to go and assess and produce work according to the criteria of an A. That was good. It worked in the beginning, and the students were watching them. I gave them samples how to do things on the folio and the outcome, and they were very early in the beginning of the research project until April. And then during April, I realized that students, they were not visiting these videos. It was part of the school site plan's decision, like the vodcasting, but then the students were not visiting because it was not meaningful to them. So what I did choose to do, and I think that's an innovation which is the common thread in all my projects for this AST2, is the personalized feedback, where I'm combining the online learning of the model and the personalized feedback of the mindset and the research project. So what happened here? It's a forum. Every student is in this forum as a visitor, and the visitor is uh, talking to me. Their name is their discussion topic, and people who are really want to submit work, they submit the work to me, and I can check it and send them response immediately. For example, I would like to show a full work with Jack. Jack has done the work with me. I'm sending him the work and videos, personalized videos this time, not generic ones, specific made to them, uh, specifically made, peculiar, and related to him. But this was as early as April 2013, and it was useful, and Jack was happy to work with this. And actually, he's the only one in the research project that he got his marks up. And we need to use him as data, as information, how he managed to do that. We realized that if we put the movies on the Moodle, they are taking too long to download them, and they are having problems. So what I really did after that as an initiative was to put these videos on YouTube channel. And this time, for example, you can very quickly listen what I'm doing. Outcome. Okay, and then space. And I want space number. Your space number, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. L. I was recording late at night, but as you can see there, I'm going through his outcome, and what I'm doing actually, I'm giving him personal feedback, an oral feedback, but writing the notes is the excellent thing that it was innovative and all students liked it because it really helped them to understand how they can revisit it and have that as an evidence for the future. Here is what Zach is saying on this specific thing. Thank you for accepting to make this topic. The specific question I would like you to comment on is the way you have found useful to you or not as useful to you the asynchronous feedback we initiated with the Moodle videos exchange. For those who don't understand this, students were sending work and they were receiving feedback in a small video of advice. This is good, you have to fix that, change that. Okay, so could you please tell us your experience?
Well, I found it pretty useful because my teacher was really busy because there was a lot of people in the class. They all had their own problems and stuff and needed help with different things. So it was really useful that we had the same sort of class experience, the in-class experience with like personalized feedback and having someone verbally explain to you what you need to fix or how they could help. But outside of class, and it was really good because it wasn't just the one-off explanation. You could go back and watch it again. And sometimes if teachers have written a comment on something, it might be difficult to sort of understand what they've written or what they're referring to. But it was really useful having you could see the document, and so she could highlight a certain section and then discuss it, and so I know what she was talking about. And I think it was a really good sort of form of communication because we had, in class we could talk to her in person as well, but it was really good to have that extra, the support outside of class that I knew that I could, it was accessible all the time. So I think it was
So this is not the only one that worked well. It's very important to remember that we had a lot of international students. I did exactly the same with Tingu. Tingu Liu was international student and she was having problems in understanding what she was advised. But I had half an hour of video with her and but what really want you to hear is the response of Tingu. Tingu was so happy having that it really made me amazed how important it is. So this is what Tingu says. Your response and your thoughts about the video feedback. You have been chosen because you worked well with this and because your results were great and because you are an ESL international student. So I want to hear what the international students can say on this and your experience.
I think the feedback video was very good because I can repeat it again and again when I found some problems and some key important things. I can read the sentence with the teacher's suggestions. The suggestions not only by notes but also by oral. I think it's good for students, especially for international students. Like me, the international students, if the teacher only read the notes, maybe the international students can't understand. But if the teacher only by oral suggestions, if but international students may not remember it. So this feedback oral is very useful for international students. And I can know that what I'm going to do and what how can I correct my mistakes on the from the feedback video.
So, in few words, you can always watch it on the online video. What Tingu says is that uh, she's using the time at school, and if somebody tells her stuff orally, she may forget. If they're written, she can't understand sometimes. But the case is with this online video, it is a bit of both. So you can listen what the teacher says, and you can go back and you can see what the teacher wants to make, and you see written work there. I know that it is easy for me to use technology, and I really found people trying to imitate it. They try to imitate it, but it's a new culture. Slowly it works there. What is important for me? So what's important for me is that students like Zach or like Stefan, who has dyslexia, or like Emily Biggs. I want you to remember the name Emily Biggs. She has came to work with me on 22nd of May, and until the 7th of June she got a merit, and she was a result of a collaboration between me and Mr. Fulton, who was a new teacher, and that was an indication of how this medium can support the students, because the students can have better results, the staff because the people will have the ability to revisit that, or they can give me have my support and my guidance, and the students can work between two teachers, like team teaching, which is the best thing in the research project. And the site will be benefited because the results are great. Now, one of the examples of this, one of the best examples of this is Emily, and at the same time is Claire. Claire came again on the 7th of, sorry, 22nd of May, the first contact, and she asked me to send her the feedback, and then we start from there communicating. She was sending me work, I was responding, and with videos and all the work. I want you to understand, she is sending the work here like this, the source analysis. I hope you can see that. She sends that, and I'm responding that immediately. Can you see the time frame? At night, anytime she's there to work, and I want to support her because I want the A, and the school wants the A, and the student wants to succeed. Everything gets what they want. It's a win-win situation. So this is how important I find this feedback forum, and it worked. It worked very, very well. If I can get a merit in 6 weeks, in 6 days, I'm happy. It's very important to listen to what Claire says on this, and I hope that I can bring the video in there. For accepting again to make these comments about online feedback forum, we need to get your folio on time. For those who haven't heard before, Mr. Fulton had identified that your folio was of high standard, and we wanted to make sure that it would be an A+. You had to make some rearrangements, which you didn't change actually anything of your research project.
There weren't major changes. What I had to do was just a few minor changes that were time consuming.
And they're consuming because it was like beautifying, yeah, bringing up what you have done. So now I would like you to make some comments on how did you find these online forums where you were receiving videos of what to do.
I found a much easier way for me. I didn't have to go and find during lunch or at a different time when you were busy or when I was busy. It's much easier and quicker and better because you can go back to it, the video. Say you're halfway through doing changes and you forgot what you had said, I could go back and make those changes and it was really good. Whereas if I'd just
So you suggest that I could use it with the next students? Thank you. So the idea is that the students could actually not only be benefited, but they could suggest that as a medium to the other students who are coming. And this is the purpose of all this. I have made a decision, and Jeremy has agreed, and the teachers have agreed, seeing other teachers' examples, that we need to put faces on the data. Those who have got the A+, they need to be identified as an A+, showing us how they achieved the A+. For example, Bridget, she was another student who was suggested with possibilities from Mrs. Smith, Damon Smith, and she managed to get an A+. In folio and outcome, and this is what we want at the school. We have such good students, there is no point to let them work by themselves trying to reinvent the wheel if we are there to support them. Help us and the future Year 12 research project students explain how you did manage and get an A+ folio and an A+ outcome. So could you please show us what you have done?
Okay. Well, first of all, there's a proposal, which was a 2013 requirement, but this is just you follow a scaffold and it's quite easy, and that's the same with the teacher discussion. Just okay. I did journal entries, which show like a progression of my topic, and I put in the entries from like key points during my project, and then at the bottom I annotated it to show like why it was important, and I talked about the capabilities that related to it. Okay, and then I did a mind map, which I actually changed from my first one to be more detailed and color coded, and it showed like from my question where I sort of went with it, like what key points I had to talk about in my outcome and stuff.
So actually your mind map is a SketchUp of your outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they have to understand, yes.
And I annotated that as well. Like the annotation is really important to get the high mark because it shows like a deeper understanding of what you've done.
So if this is to understand better, there is no point for me to say to students do this, do that, unless they see the students themselves achieving this. And this is the purpose of this research project. This is the purpose of how the 2014 research project is set up. We're going to use all the information we gathered and all the knowledge we gathered from 2013, and we are going to create a better environment, and I'm happy to demonstrate that all these are working for the site, for the staff, for myself, because it's very rewarding, and especially for the students' outcomes, because research project manage from 2% of A now to have 16% of A, sorry, 25% of our marks to be A level. So it's a huge change, a big reward for me, and the students who do their work, and they deserve to get what they want with their proper guidance and mentoring. Thank you.